back to the Riz Show. My God, we have a guest in here. And a pretty big guest, too.
I would think so, yeah.
Not girth-wise, but I mean, as far as...
I got that handled.
Popular, yeah, he's got that handled. Mr. Dave Coulier is here.
Or as I'm known in Sweden, Girth Coulier. It's okay, I'm wearing a cup. It's all right.
In some parts of this city, Dave Coulier.
Coulier. Yeah.
Hey,
Coulier.
I heard Collier's going to be there today.
Yeah, it sure is.
Coulier
Yeah, that was my
guy.
name growing up. And then my French-Canadian grandfather, Norman Como, on my mom's side, you know your name pronounced Coulier. I don't know why everybody call you Coulier. And I'm like, Grandpa, just pass the poutine.
Where was he from?
He was from Bathurst, New Brunswick. Or as he used to call it, Bathurst.
Which is where? What
It's,
what section of?
It's as far as you can go east. Newfoundland.
I've been to
way
Montreal, like I know everywhere in Canada. I've been to
east of there.
Montreal once.
East of there.
Now he's talking about like whale
I've
watching
seen the Canadians
country.
play here. I know everything about Montreal.
Yeah, but you grew up in
And
Michigan,
I grew up in Detroit, yeah.
so you're a Red Wings
I'm
fan?
a Red Wings fan. I played my junior hockey there. I still skate with the Red Wings alumni. But I'm also friends with Kelly Chase and Brett Hall.
Oh, Chaser, huh?
Chaser.
Chaser.
I
Kelly
came
Holly.
here-
Huh?
And Holly.
Oh yeah, I came here to roast Chaser.
Yeah.
Oh, did
years
you?
ago. Yeah. And I had a translator who translated everything I said and made it filthy. Kelly, you're a wonderful man. Kelly, you fat slob. So it was funny, but it was great hanging out with the Blues, and what a funny night.
What a nice organization, huh?
What a nice organization.
What a classy organization we have here,
Speaking
huh?
of which, you guys are one up on Chicago.
Right, which is fantastic.
This Tarasenko kid is fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you walked in the room, I guess
Yeah.
you guys all just started talking
Yeah,
hockey.
he's a big hockey guy. Huge hockey guy.
Yeah, I love watching hockey.
Yeah.
You watch, you play.
I watch, I play. I always wear a cup.
As you should.
Wearing a cup
You
right now.
never know.
Here, let me check.
Yeah,
did you hear that?
Never,
Yeah.
never know.
That's kind of girthy right there.
Well, just so you guys know, Dave is at the Helium Comedy Club over by the Galleria. He's got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. And I mean, you are a stand-up. I mean,
I
from
started
the
as a
beginning of
stand-up.
your career, you
Yeah.
are a stand-up.
Yeah, not one of these actors that says, you know what, I'm going to go do the stand-up now.
Well, that was going to be my point is, a lot of these actors think they can do stand-up, but you started as a stand-up guy.
Different beast.
Kind of.
Yeah, I did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I had Johnny Carson introduce me. That was kind of a thrill. My
How did you
first
get
Tonight
discovered?
Show. I was just working at the Improv in the Comedy Store, and a guy named Jim McCauley was the talent coordinator, and he saw every comic go through there, and came up to me one night, "I want you to do the show Thursday," and I was like, "Nope, not ready." And he said, "Nope, you're doing the show Thursday," and I did the show Thursday.
What was it? You were nervous to do it, or you
I
just?
didn't think.
Well, how old were you at this point?
I was 24, and I didn't think that I was as sophisticated as you needed to be to do the Tonight Show. Because I'm watching Gary Shandling, and I'm watching Leno, and I'm watching Seinfeld, and I'm watching all these guys that are, they're technicians. They're, and I don't do that. I'm more kind of a Dana Carvey kind of, where I do characters and stuff,
impressions and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I didn't think I was good enough, to be quite honest.
What did your parents want you to be?
I wanted to be a pilot.
Well, you wanted to be a pilot, but what did your parents want you to be?
They wanted me to have a paycheck.
Right. They didn't care.
They didn't really care too much. I kicked around. I wanted to be a physician, and then I wanted to be a pilot. But I'm still a pilot now. I fly privately, but I don't. My son's actually a pilot too. He flies for SkyWest Airlines. My dad flew privately.
No kidding.
But so it's been in
That's
the
a family
family
thing.
for a while. Yeah. But I think I would have liked to have been like an Air Force or Navy pilot, and then gone on to the airlines.
But I mean,
Kind of boring. Look how silent
No.
it was after that.
No. I'll tell you what.
But that's a pretty weird turn from pilot to stand-up comedian. Where was
Yeah.
where'd you change paths?
Well, I was a jock. I was a hockey player growing up, and I was the funny guy in the locker room. And when you got, 20 guys sitting around tying their skates, you kind of have a built-in audience, So I would do impressions of coaches and players and always acting stupid. And it was like, wow, I love making guys laugh.
Right.
So that's kind of how it started.
So and you had the balls to get up there on stage at an improv and and get it done that way?
I had a great partner in crime, Mark Sandrowski. I've known since I was 9 years old, and he directs the Big Bang Theory television series, and we've been thick as thieves since we were in third grade. So we were always drawing cartoons and blowing hand farts when people bent over and doing stupid stuff, and did sketches in high school. So I had a great partner in crime, so it wasn't like I just jumped up at one point and said, "Oh, I'm going up on New Talent Night." It was like, well, I've already done this in the gymnasium, and I did this in the cafeteria, and did the announcements in school.
Right.
So I kind of had a little bit of a, little bit of background.
So how'd you make it over to L.A.?
I moved out there after high school. I worked in rock radio in Detroit for a couple of months. And
Oh,
then
really? So you did this?
I did this a little
This?
bit. Well, yeah, but it was a different era. It was, like guys smoking pot while they're on air.
Missed that.
I think we worked at the same station.
Yeah, it was
For sure.
WABX in Detroit, Michigan, and it was this hippie station, and I got a job there doing voices on radio commercials, writing radio commercials for
kidding.
the station. And then I moved to LA, and I was 19, and I just went cold turkey, just kind of, I got to go.
Did you do the whole thing? I waited tables. I kind of hustled.
I never did. I never did. I struggled through stand up all those years, just kind of $25 gigs here and there, and just never had to take a second job.
How lean were the times, though?
I drove an AMC Gremlin.
Okay, well,
That was handed
Yeah.
you
down
had
from
wheels,
another.
though?
It looked like it was brown. It looked like a chopped off turd. Remember the back of the?
Oh, absolutely. I remember him. Yeah.
That's what my
Yeah,
dad
it was an
drove.
awful car.
Now, was there a time where you're like, "Dan, this is not going to work for me"?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
give
there
it another
were- yeah.
week. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it another month, and if I don't make it, if I don't
There were.
If I don't get discovered, I'm going home.
Yeah, there were years of that. It's always it's always success followed by frustration. You have a great set, and then you go in and you bomb in an audition. So it was it was tough for a long time.
And then you kind of meet the right people.
Well, then you put yourself. You work so hard that you put yourself in a lucky place, and I worked really hard. So when a lot of comics were standing at the Comedy Store doing coke and blowing joints, I was writing, and I was staying healthy and keeping focused.
Right. But for as hard as you could work,
Yeah,
you always got to catch a break, though.
you do.
And what was your break?
I just kept working at the Comedy Store, and some agents were there and saw my set one night, and came up to me afterwards. They said, "We gotta put you in television. We gotta." And so they started shopping me around, and I started auditioning, and then I got into acting school, and just kind of started putting the pieces together.
Now, is it true before you got the Full House thing, you were a cast member on SNL?
Well, I was picked to be a cast member, to be what's called a feature player on SNL. I did my screen test at NBC, and my manager, Brad Gray, who's now chairman of
Right,
Paramount.
he's a big guy
Yeah,
now.
he's a big guy now. He managed me, Bob Saget, and Gary Shandling. And I did my screen test, and he called me up. He said, "I just got off the phone with Lauren Michaels." And Lauren said it's going to be great to have Dave with us in New York this season.
Wow.
And so, of course, you
And
call
were-
everybody
and were
in
you
your
like,
life.
Here we go. This is the big break. I'm going to New York. I'm going to be on SNL.
Yeah, well, I had done the Tonight Show, so he knew me as a stand-up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went in and I had a really funny screen test at NBC, and then, of course, my manager, I'm like, what do I do? He says, well, we got to get you an apartment in New York. You got to get rid of this apartment. We got to get you going.
Oh, so you were
'cause the
you
show,
were going.
I was going, yeah. So, of course, I called my mom and dad and everybody I knew. I'm going to be on Saturday Night Live, and they were like, that's crazy.
My David finally made it. If
That's
what you
right.
sound like.
Those
I don't know.
hand farts
Sound
paid
like
off. So I told everybody, and then about a week went by. I had everything boxed up. I was on my way to New York, and then I got a call from Brad, and he said, "Look, I just got off the phone with Brandon Tartikoff, who was then president of NBC, and Brandon."
And what year is this, by the way?
This is 1986, a year before Full House.
So 86.
86, and I
So
got
who was
86th.
Who was the cast then?
It was Dana Carvey, Dennis Miller.
Okay.
I forget who else, but
Like John Lovitz.
probably it was right in that. Yeah, you're
Phil
right in
Hartman started to
you're
try to
right
do
in
his thing
kind of
there.
the zone there of when that was. But I had to call everybody back and go, I didn't make the cut, and they're like, well, how does that happen? I'm like, well, that's showbiz. So I had to call everybody back.
Did you get a reason why you were not taken?
I was too similar looking to Dana Carvey.
What?
Joan Cusack, Robert Downey Jr., Nora Dunn, Anthony Michael Hall, John Lovitz, Dennis Miller, Randy Quaid, and Terry Sweeney.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, that was kind of an in-between year, by the way.
It was kind of an in-between year, and and then I got a script about 5 months later called Full House, and went in and auditioned and got it first try.
And what'd you think? I mean, was it just a job for you at first? Like, okay, I'm just going to take this.
It was, I had done another pilot, and so I knew the odds against getting a pilot as a series. Or a pilot even getting picked up. I knew that the odds were so stacked against it. So I went in and just kind of, was funny, and then, got this call from Brad Gray. He's like, you got this Full House pilot, so it starts in a couple weeks. And then I met Stamos, and I met Jeff Franklin, and then we shot the show. Our first table reading, though, before we got on the set, Jodie Sweetin knocked it out of the park. And I walked out of there. She got laughs. She had her script memorized, and she was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And I walked out with John. I said, well, she's the star of this show.
Wow.
She killed it.
Wow.
And so we thought she was going to be the star of the show because she was phenomenal.
I mean, it really was an ensemble cast. There was was there a real star of that show?
It's what you said. It was ensemble. There was kind of different ingredients. You had the funny guy, you had the dad, you had the handsome rock and roller, and you had these three girls, that we were raising. So, there was kind of something for everybody in Full House, which is I think that's the Kool-Aid that people have drank all these years. That it's kind of video comfort food. That's really what I look back on Full House is that they don't make shows like Full House anymore.
For 1987, I mean, that was what people were doing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that moment in time, that show,
hit. It did. And it was family programming. We were part of the TGIF night, and it was families. And suddenly you had this block of programming on Friday night, which was then the death knell for television shows. And we created TGIF. We anchored that. And back then, which is still the formula for Fuller House, we hugged each other. There was a little moral. You knew your kids were safe watching it. We told each other we loved each other. And I think through syndication that has become millions of people.
Now on the set, I mean, so you got.
I didn't think this was going to be this interesting of an interview.
You guys
are actually really interesting. I'm like,
you got the kids.
You're doing the Riz show, and I'm like, wow, this is like really intelligent question.
So you got the kids, and then you got the three main adults. So it's two comedians, you and Bob Saget, and the vagina magnet. John Stamos.
Excuse me, sir. Dreamboat John Stamos.
I'm sorry.
Hey, he's the VM, okay? That's not voicemail.
Were there chicks all over the set?
Let me tell you, John would call me up. I used to ski in his wake, and supermodels would bounce off of me. He used to call me up and say, Dave, you got to get over here. There's 5 little models. I went to this modeling thing. They're all in my house. You got to bring some guys over. So I would call my...
Can you imagine?
I would call my...
I have too many chicks. Can you please take some off my hands?
And I'm not even making that. I joke with John about that. I said, you remember when you used to call me and say, bring some guys over? I have too many girls at my house and I'm alone.
And he's like, yeah, last week.
And so I would call my beer drinking, hockey buddies from my senior hockey league, and they'd go, "Sure, dude, can we bring beer?" "Yeah, we can." And these guys are, "Oh, look at this, there's models." What's your buddy's name again? John, went to school, man.
Yeah, the Greek fella, huh?
Yeah, the Greek fella.
The Greek fella. I mean, was it Caligula?
It wasn't quite Caligula. Heads weren't getting chopped off and stuff. It was, it was young guys.
Sowing their oats.
Pretty much.
So yes, it was Caligula.
Yeah.
And what
Except
was
for the heads.
And was
it was Caligula. See what I did there? I took it and then I don't even pay attention.
Was Bob?
Wasn't funny.
I got it.
Wasn't funny.
I get it.
Not necessarily funny.
Is this the kind of material we'll hear tonight?
Funny Bone? That's a good segue. I deserve that. That was crappy.
They'll throw lettuce at you.
You're a bit ashamed of yourself.
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed.
Helium Comedy Club tonight. That's Dave Coulier. So, what was Bob Saget doing all this stuff? I mean, was he married?
Bob was married and then got divorced. And I was
Did you
married
get divorced
and then got
because
divorced.
of John Stamos?
Actually, at the party, you got divorced.
Because of all the feta cheese the Greek guy was throwing around.
Dave called Bob Saget and said, "Come over." He goes, "Hold on, I got to get divorced first." I'll be right there. Give me 5 minutes.
Hold on, I have no girls at my house.
Now, I'm sure you guys were pranksters on set and stuff like
We
that.
were.
How'd you shield the younger kids from this
Well,
stuff?
we got caught doing a lot of stupid stuff. I was always the one who was kind of naked or dropping my pants and walking into a scene. But but then
not full
sometimes-
hanging brains. I mean,
sometimes,
right.
sometimes
Well
late at night
done.
if it was just, but I was always kind of the court jester. Like if it was late at night and we were working on a tough scene or something, I would do something stupid. And Bob would just go, "Dave, do something stupid." Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. But then one night I remember the girls had to stay late because they had to do some scene and they had monitors back in their rooms. And I kind of, let's just say I forgot. And I
your
talked
balls
John
out.
and Bob. I said, let's all walk into the scene this next time, make the crew laugh. We'll all take our pants off. So we walked around the corner and we all had our pants off. And then here come the three moms with their arms crossed. And they're like, "Really, guys?
Oh, no.
Seriously?" And we're like, "Oh, we kind of forgot you were still here."
Oh man.
Yeah. But we played lots of jokes on it.
so all right. So how long does the show run for? It runs for.
8 seasons,
8
192 episodes.
So when it's over, I mean,
Yeah.
can you live off the Full House paychecks now? Do you have to work again?
I have a nice life.
So every time it airs, do you get
Yeah.
does a check come in the mail? Every
Yeah.
month from
Yeah.
it. That's amazing.
Every quarter.
Every quarter, and you can live off that.
It's a nice life. I have a nice life.
I've always wondered
I have a nice
about.
life.
We
I've
were
always
just-
wondered about the syndication thing.
I just want a quick look at your W-2. That's all he's getting at. Is that all right? Do you mind if that?
I pay my taxes. I pay my taxes.
Good.
No, I have a nice life. I can't complain. I mean, sometimes I'll hear actors and they slam a show that they've been on or don't bring that up. It's like, why? I'm thinking when you're a comic just starting out, you pray for a full house every day.
Right.
So I would never turn around and kick it. It's like, hey, this
Well, it's
show's
part of
been
your
a
life.
gift. Yeah.
It's part of your life. It's paid for a lot of your life too, I'm sure.
Yes, buys a lot of airplane fuel.
Well, what's the one thing you're just sick and tired of people asking about?
I'm not really, probably the Alanis Morissette thing.
What? What about Alanis Morissette?
What are you talking about? We
have no idea what that's
what
about.
Crazy
you're talking
talk,
about.
isn't it? Crazy.
I have no idea what
I
that's
know
about.
this is really old information.
Alanis said she's from the Canadas, eh?
That's where I met her. She sang the national anthem in Montreal at the Forum. I was playing in the Heroes of Hockey game.
And this is before you did Full House. and
No,
this-
I was on Full House.
Oh, you were on Full House at the time.
But she was an 18-year-old pop singer in Canada from Ottawa, and she came out and she sang the Canadian and American anthems. And I was standing between two hockey legends, Gordie Howe and Rod Gilbert, and she walked out and she gave me this big smile, and I looked over to Gordie. I said, he's elbowing me. He goes, "Do you see that?" And I go, "Yeah, I wish I wasn't wearing a cup right now." And Gordie said, "Why don't you lay down on the ice with your face down and that'll go away."
Oh, boy.
You ice
Like
it.
a cold shower. That's
Whenever
right.
you have swelling, you ice
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, that's
literally
great.
ice it.
Always ice
So
it first.
how'd you score that?
And then I got food poisoning, and I didn't see her. I got food poisoning right after the game, and I didn't see her for a day. And then I was checking out of the hotel lobby, and she was there with her chaperone, and we just saw each other and started talking. She said, "Listen, if I can convince you to stay an extra day, I'll show you around."
And you stayed.
I stayed.
And she showed you around.
She showed me around.
And next thing you know, an album's being written
Jed's
about.
a millionaire. Yeah.
But is that true? I mean, I know that's always been the rumor, but is that she never confirmed that? That Jagged
Yeah,
Little
and
Pill's
I
about
really
you.
never have either. She was writing a lot of that Jagged Little Pill music when we were together, and so when it came out, a lot of it was familiar.
Uh-huh.
And she's incredible. I have nothing bad to say about her. She's funny, really smart, talented, beautiful.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's nothing bad to say about her.
And I'm sure a lot of this stuff was rehashed recently with what, 25 years that
yeah,
album's been out?
yeah, and it's just kind of like, guys, this is really old. This is an old
But
story.
it's such an iconic. I mean, this is Carly Simon's "You're So Vain." Like, what's that about? Who's it about? And
It's weird
This
to
is
me.
our generation's that.
It's weird to me. Yeah,
and
weird,
you're
very
a part
weird.
of history.
Even if you're not, you
have you
should
signed?
say you are.
Has somebody gone up to you with a Jagged Little Pill record and said, "Can you sign this?"
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And did you?
I uttered 2 words.
Heck yes.
Heck yeah.
Good, so I won't be the first.
My pleasure.
For sure.
We got to take a quick break. He can stick around for a little while. You want to stick around for celebrity news?
Absolutely.
We got some celebrity news coming up.